all the students. I myself Usha Gangadhar, Secretary of Srimati Danamma Channabasavaiah College of Arts, Science, Commerce and Management Studies. I welcome you all for SDC family. We SDC have 3 branches, one in Kolar, one in Mulbagal, one in Bangarpet. So I wish you all the best for your future. Thank you one and all. Good morning all the students. I myself Usha Gangadhar, Secretary of Srimati Danamma Channabasavaiah College of Arts, Science, Commerce and Management Studies. I welcome you all for SDC family. We SDC have 3 branches, one in Kolar, one in Mulbagal, one in Bangarpet. So I wish you all the best for your future. Thank you one and all.
दिशाओं में तेज सा वो छाया, उसकी भुजाएं
Good morning students all. My name is Sheshu Babu, Physics NEET and IIT faculty. Physics is a general subject. Physics, what is meant by physics means study of the nature will be called as the physics. We can derive physics from anywhere. Physics laws, anywhere we can derive. That's why we kept the videos just for fun. Okay, first of all, we'll discuss about the how many chapters are there for the NEET examination. What is the weightage for the NEET examination? Simultaneously, what is the number of chapters, what is the syllabus for the CET examination? How the weightage for the CET examination will be there, we will discuss. Okay? So, totally NEET physics, it will have 45 questions. In the 45 questions, 22 questions will ask from the first PU. 23 questions will ask from the second PU portions. My point is clear. 45 questions will be there in the physics. All of you know about that. In that, from the first PU portions, 22 questions will come. and from the second PU portion 23 questions will come. If you consider the CET examination, totally 60 questions will be there. In that 60, 15 questions will ask from the first PU and 45 questions will ask from the second PU. Out of 60 questions, 15 from the first PU, 45 from the second PU. First we will discuss about the weightage of the chapters and we will start the first chapter, electric charges and fields. Second year part, first chapter we will start the objective part. Clear my point? Okay, take the notebooks and write, all of you, copy in your notebooks, all of you, take the notebooks. So first PU, if you consider, totally 15 chapters will be there in the first PU. One by one if we discuss, first chapter will be physical world. From the physical world in the NEET examination, there is no question. No question will ask from this physical world. In the CET also no question will be asked. So physical world first lesson. Second lesson will be units and measurements. In this, one question will ask for NEET, in one question from the CET. Next, motion in the straight line 1. Motion in the plane, here also 1. Write down all of you, take the notebooks and note it down. Motion in the plane 1. Next, laws of motion 1. NEET 1 question, CET 1 question. If you take work power energy, 2 questions will ask in the NEET, 1 question will ask in the CET. Clear? Write down, slowly write down. System of particles, 3 questions will ask in the NEET, 2 questions they will ask in the CET. Gravitation, 1 question will ask in the NEET, 1 question will ask in the CET. So this is about the first part. PUC, totally first PU you will have 2 textbooks. So first textbook, these chapters will be there. Okay, we will go to the second part. Next lesson will be mechanical properties of solids. In mechanical properties of solids, NEET 1 question, CET 1 question. All of you note it down. Mechanical properties of fluids, next lesson. 1 question in NEET, 1 question in CET. Thermal expansion of materials. Thermal expansion or thermal expansion of materials. 2 questions will come from this chapter in NEET. CET 1 question will come. Thermodynamics. 2 questions in NEET, 2 questions in CET. KTG, kinetic theory of gases. 1 question from NEET, no question in CET. Next, oscillations, 2 questions in NEET, 1 question in CET. Waves, 3 questions in NEET, 1 question in the CET. If we count all of these, totally from the first PU portions, 22 questions, maybe little bit up and downs will be there, means in the sense, total up to here, we can consider it as up to first 10. It will be considered as the mechanics. The number of questions coming from the mechanics part is constant. But maybe 1 question may be more in laws of motion, 1 question may be less in the work power energy, like that little bit variations will be there. But on average, this is the weightage of the chapters. So this is about the first PU. Okay, clear? We will discuss about the second PU now. Okay, coming to the second PU portions, totally second PU we will have 14 lessons. All of you know about that. In that 14 lessons, how the weightage will be there, we will see. First chapter will be electric charges and fields. Okay, 1 question will come in NEET from this chapter, 3 questions will come in CET from this. Second one will be electric potential and capacitance. Electric potential and capacitance, 1 from NEET and 4 from this chapter in CET. Next, current electricity, 2 NEET, 6 CET. Moving charges, 3 in NEET, 6 questions. All these are questions, remember, not marks. So 3 questions from in NEET and 6 questions in CET. Magnetism and matter, 5th chapter, 1 question. It will come in NEET from this and 2 questions in CET. EMI means electromagnetic induction. From this chapter, 1 question in NEET, 3 questions in the CET. Next, alternating current AC, NEET it will be 1, CET it will be 3. Electromagnetic waves, 1 question in NEET, 1 question in the CET. So, electromagnetic waves is a very small chapter having 3-4 pages in the textbook, and 1 direct theoretical question we can expect from this. So, like that, easy chapters we will focus. Important chapters we will focus. That's why we will try to grab more marks in the NEET and then simultaneously in the CET. Like that, our plan we should make a plan to get good marks. See here, current electricity, 6 questions will come. In the NEET, 2 questions will come. Moving charges, 6 questions will come in the CET. 3 are from the NEET. These are, we can easily say these are important chapters. We will focus on these chapters while preparing. Definitely we will get the good marks. Like that, we will make a strategy to get good score in both examinations. Okay. Remaining part, if we take ray optics, NEET 3 questions will come, CET 3 questions will come. Ray optics, 2 questions will come. Wave optics, 2 questions will come in the NEET, 3 will come in the CET. Next chapter, dual nature of matter and radiation, 2 questions will come in the NEET and 3 questions will come in the CET. Atoms, 1 question, 2 questions in the CET. Nuclei, 1 question, 3 questions in the CET. Semiconductors, 3 questions and 3 questions. Semiconductors is also a theoretical chapter. We can get good marks in the semiconductor devices. Last chapter, students will neglect about this chapter, but from this 3 questions will ask. So we'll focus while preparing. We'll focus on these important topics so that easily we will get the marks. Like that it will be there. So totally 22 questions from the first PU, 23 from the second PU in NEET, 15 questions in the first PU and 45 questions in the second PU from that second PU for CET. But this year, this 2020, this year, they conducted September 13th, they conducted the examination of NEET. Slight variations are there. They give little bit more weightage for the second PU compared to the first PU. 18 questions are asked from the first PU. Remaining questions, 27 are asked from the second PU. But generally, when the paper is introduced from 2016 to up to 2019, every year the pattern is same. This year only slightly they changed, but we can't expect that one every year. So we'll prepare as per the given own schedule, given previous what is the weightage is there. According to that, we'll go about this. Okay, we'll start the first chapter, electric charges and fields. Okay. We'll start this lesson, first lesson in the second PU portions, electric charges and fields. We can divide this chapter, we can divide it into 5 subtopics. First will be electric charge and its conservation. electric charge and its conservation. Second one will be Coulomb's law. Third one will be electric field in different cases. What are the problems and formulas relating to calculate the electric field? Next, fourth one will be electric dipole. Fifth one will be Gauss law and its applications. Clear? Am I clear? Electric charges and fields. This lesson we can divide it into 5 subtopics. What we will do, we provided the PDF material for you. If chance is there, try to make the printout of that and try to prepare all of that synopsis. Simultaneously, you listen the class. Whatever the problems are there in that material, each and every problem we will discuss in this class. Like that we will plan. We provided the PDF material for you in the link. Go through that material. First listen the lesson. Next go through the material. After doing all problems, what you have to do again, once again, one next, repeatedly, continuously if you are doing, you will get an idea about the concepts. Clear? We can divide this into 5 subtopics. First one will be electric charges and conservation, Coulomb's law, electric field, electric dipole, Gauss law and its applications. Now we will discuss about first part, electric charge. So how we will define the electric charge? Let us see. This electric charge is indicated by the letter capital Q, or it will be indicated by the letter small q also we can indicate it. Electric charge means it is the property associated with the matter. Matter will have electric charge. Because of this electric charge, that matter can create electric field, magnetic field and applies electrical force on the other charged particles. So electric charge is a fundamental property of the matter, because of which it can create electric field and magnetic field, and also it applies the force on the other charged particles. Clear? Next, 2 types of charges will be there. One will be positive charge. Another one will be negative charge. Positive charge means if a body loses electrons, then we can say that body is positively charged. If a body gains electrons, we can say that body is negatively charged. Is that point is clear? So body loses electrons is said to be positively charged. Body gains electrons, excess of electrons, we are saying that is negatively charged body. If you consider the proton charge is equivalent to charge of the proton 1.6 into 10 power minus 19 coulombs. What is the charge of the electron means? minus 1.6 into 10 power minus 19 coulombs. This is the magnitude of the proton's charge. This is the magnitude of the electron charge. Clear? Next, what are the properties of the charges? What are the properties of the charges? First one will be charge will interact force on the other charged particles. It applies force on the other charged particles. Clear? This point is clear. It applies force on the other charged particles, means between proton and electron, means between positive charge and negative charge, there will be attractive force. Two protons, two positive charges will repel with one another. Two negative charges will repel with one another, means like charges repels, unlike charges attracts with one another. This point is clear. Like charges will repel, unlike charges will attract. Next, third one will be charge is quantized. What is meant by quantization means the charge on any charged body is always in the integral multiples of the electron charge. That is called quantization of the charge. That point is clear. Charge on any body, one charged body we are taking. That charge always we can express in terms of electrons charge. That is called charge quantization. So here Q is equal to N into E. Charge on any charged body is integral multiples of electron charge. So that is called charge quantization. Generally one question they will ask in the board relating to this. What is that is? 1 coulomb charge will contain how many number of electrons? 1 coulomb charge will have how many electrons, number of electrons, like that question will be there. So we have to use the formula Q is equal to N into E. Charge unit will be, SI unit will be coulomb. Charge is a scalar quantity. Q place we can use 1, here N, here electron charge will be 1.6 into 10 power minus 19. Just if you take magnitude, that is enough. No need to take the sign here. Then N is equal to what will happen? 1 by 1.6 into 10 power minus 19. 1 by 1.6 is equal to 0.625 into 10 power 19. If you do this one, this value will be 6.25 into 10 power 18. 1 coulomb charge will have 6.25 into 10 power 18 electrons. Next, further inventions, what they asked is, initially in the nucleus, only protons and neutrons will be there. Electrons will be revolving around the nucleus in an atom. Like that, these three only considered as the fundamental quantities. Later what they identified is, scientists what they discovered is, they discovered new materials called quarks. They discovered new materials called quarks. These are the fundamental particles. Because of these quarks, protons and neutrons are made because of these quarks, like that they found. So what are the quarks means? Quarks are the fundamental particles. They have a charge of 2.3 E minus E by 3. Like that they have the charges basing on that. So if you consider the proton is made with one up quark, one down quark. Okay, up quark charge will be 2E by 3, down quark charge will be minus E by 3. In the proton, if you take UUD will be there, one up quark, one down quark. Totally how much that is? 2E by 3 plus 2E by 3 minus E by 3 if you consider. Up quark means 2e by 3. Down quark charge will be minus e by 3. Clear? In the proton, what will happen? UUD means 2e by 3 plus 2e by 3 minus e by 3 will be there. By adding all of this, we will get it as e. Clear? If you take electron, this is for proton. If you take for electron, quarks will be equal to UDD. This is up quark 2e by 3 minus e by 3. This will be minus e. If you take neutron, not electron. If you take neutron, this will be equal to 0. Neutron is not having charge. Like that, 3 down quarks will create 1 electron. Like this, in this manner, what the scientists found in the later discoveries are there. Quarks are there in the protons, neutrons and in the electrons. Because of them only these protons, neutrons are existed. Like that they discovered. Okay. So we are discussing about the properties of the charges. What are the properties of the charges? Charge will apply force on the other charged particles. Like charges will attract, will repel with one another. Unlike charges will attract with one another. Next, charge will be quantized. Q is equal to Ne. Next, charge will be, fourth point if you consider, charge is conserved in an isolated system. If you take any isolated system, the total charge in that system will always remains as the constant. Next, fifth one will be charge is invariant. What is the meaning of that one is magnitude of the charge, what the body is having, that is independent on the velocity of the body. If a body is at rest, it is having a charge of plus 2 coulombs. When it is moving with any velocity, this charge magnitude will remain as the same. Charge is invariant. Clear? These are the properties of the charges, and charge will reside on the outer surface of the body. These are the properties of the charges. On the properties of the charges, we can expect questions on Q is equal to Ne. On that formula, you can expect problems on that. Next, after that, let us see what is Coulomb's inverse square law. What is Coulomb's inverse square law? Here one charge is there, its magnitude is Q1. Here another charge is there, its magnitude is Q2. The distance between the two charges is R. Then the force, if these two are like charges, they will repel with one another. If these two are unlike charges, they will attract with each other. The force of attraction or repulsion between two charges is directly proportional to the product of the magnitude of their charges and inversely proportional to square of the distance between them, and acts along the line joining their centers. Means the force between these two charges is directly proportional to product of the magnitude of the charges and inversely proportional to square of the distance between them, and it is acting along this line or along this line. It will act along the line joining the centers of the two charges. That's why we can call the Coulomb force as the central force. Clear? Means the force between these two will not be in this direction. It will not be in this direction. Definitely it may be in this direction. Definitely it may be in this direction R. So it acts along the line joining the centers of the two bodies. So we can call this Coulomb force as the central force. So from this what we can write is F proportional to Q1 Q2 by R square. Then F is equal to some proportionality constant into Q1 Q2 by R square, where K is a proportionality constant. This K value will depends on the system of units. In which system these values are measured? Q1, Q2 units are what? R unit is what? F unit. Whether all these are measured in the SI system, all those are measured in the CGS system. Basing on that, this F value, K value will changes. My point is clear? So K value will depends on the system of units, and also it depends on the medium between the two charges. It depends on the medium between the two charges. Either vacuum is there, either air is there, either any another medium is there between these. Basing on the nature of the medium, this K value will changes. If you consider the SI system, and then this K value is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon Q1 Q2 by R square. Kf is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon Q1 Q2 by R square if you consider the SI system. Here epsilon will be called as the permittivity of the medium, and that value is equivalent to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught epsilon R Q1 Q2 by R square. So expression for Coulomb force will be 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught epsilon R Q1 Q2 by R square for any medium. If the medium between the two charges is vacuum, for vacuum epsilon R value will be equal to 1. If we consider air medium is there between the two charges, for air medium epsilon R value is 1.006. We will consider it as the 1 only. So for air or vacuum mediums, this formula will convert as F is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q1 Q2 by R square. This is for air or vacuum medium. This formula is for any medium. Here 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught value already you knows, 9 into 10 power 9. Epsilon naught value is how much means 8.85 into 10 power minus 12. Like that we will get the Coulomb square per Newton meter square we will get. Epsilon naught value will be 8.85 into 10 power minus 12 Coulomb square per Newton meter square. 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught value will be equal to 9 into 10 power 9 Newton meter square per Coulomb square. These are the values and units. Now in the competitive examination, on this concept, what problems they will ask, how the application of this concept will be there, let us see. So if we represent this Coulomb's law in the vector form, then F bar is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q1 Q2 by R square into R cap. 1 by 4. In air, generally we will consider the medium between the two charges is air. So 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught q1 q2 by r square into r cap. This is the Coulomb's law vector form. Clear? R cap we can write it as q1 q2 by r square into r bar by r, like that we can write. Then r square into r, that will be equal to r cube. Therefore another form of vector form of Coulomb's law will be 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught q1 q2 by r cube into r bar. Like this also we can write. If r cube is there, here r bar should come, remember. Here r square is there in the denominator, here r cap should come. This will be the unit vector, this will be the position vector. Observe the difference. Now in the competitive examinations, how the questions will be there on the Coulomb's law, let us see. So first basic questions, they will ask, we know the formula F is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught q1 q2 by r square. So relation between force and distance they will ask. So F proportional to 1 by r square means F1 by F2 is equal to r2 square by r1 square. Basic relation. Relation between force and distance. Two charges are separated by a distance of 5 centimeter. 20 newtons force is there between them. When the distance between them becomes 10 centimeter, what is the force between them? Calculate the force between the two charges. Two charges are separated by a distance of 5 centimeter. Then how much force is there between them? 10 Newton force is there. Now the distance between the two charges, they made it as 10 centimeter. Then how much force will be there between the two charges? So we had to use this formula, 10 by F2 is equal to 10 by 5 whole square. So 10 by F2 is equal to 4. Then F2 is equal to 10 by 4. Then F2 is equal to 2.5 Newton.